Welcome back. Well, to cancel a credit card or not, that's a question for many people worried about their credit score.
Tony Waltz with Town & Country Credit Union joins us again this morning to give us some advice. So thank you so much for coming in. This is a great topic because I feel like, well, and I'm sure men too, but women especially, at times I've had a whole lot of plastic in my wallet, and then, you know, other times you don't have as much. But what do you do with the cards that you're not necessarily using all the time? Should you keep those?
Well, it depends on the situation. So I always say if there's no annual fee, you might as well keep it, because your credit score, you kind of got to play the game. Credit score is based on utilization of credit. So say I have $10,000 in credit card debt, my limits are $10,000, and I do real good, Dave Ramsey style, paid off to $5,000, and I close one of those cards for $5,000 limit. Well, now I'm 100% maxed out again, and each point of available credit is one credit score point. So if I'm 50% maxed out, I get 50 points in my credit score. By closing that card, I've just taken away 50% of my available credit, so I lose 50 points. So you want to make sure that you keep your balances low in relation to your limits. So I always say, you know, if there's no annual fee and you're not tempted to use it, go ahead. So the 2 times that I would close it is if there's an annual fee, you know, you don't want to pay for something you're not going to use. Or if you just know you can't control it and you're like, I know if I go to the mall or if I go here, I'm going to spend it, then you might be better off cutting it up. So you just want to make sure your utilization is the biggest thing. You don't want to take away that utilization, drop your credit score.
Can you go through that score thing again? So you said 50 points, or I didn't follow that.
Okay. So say you have, just for math purposes, a $1,000 credit card and you owe $200. So you have 80% available credit. So each one of those points available credit is one credit score point, and that's 1/3 of your credit score.
So I get 8 points for that, you're saying, or 80?
You get 80. Yep. Each point is one credit score point. So if I max out my credit card, if you go from 200 to 1,000 and that's my only card, now I'm getting 0 points. So I could theoretically drop 80 points by maxing out my only card. So we've had instances where we've maybe done a home equity loan and paid off everybody's credit card, and if you owe 0 and you have 20,000 in limits, you may not need that, especially if you have no balances. Then you can close them down and keep the 2 or 3 good cards you want to use. But you just want to make sure that you're not cutting yourself short on utilization, because the more maxed out you are, the lower the credit score is going to be. So when you go to get a car loan, it may be 10% instead of 3%.
Can you get to a point there where you have too much credit out there that you're not utilizing, and they go, whoa, this guy might go on a spending binge? And
that's always a possibility. Absolutely, yeah. I've seen people with 50, 60,000 in available credit just because, and they don't even need it. They might carry $300 on there, but over time they've upped their limits and they have that. That's not really a problem as long as you can keep it in check. You're not going to go to Vegas and go nuts or anything. You're going to be okay.
I feel like it is knee-jerk to sometimes think, because I know I've been told, oh, you need to close all of those cards. If you don't need those, close all of your cards. So don't necessarily do that. But what if you have, because I'm a woman and I have like 5 to 10 of these store credit cards?
Yes.
Does that play in the same way versus Visas and MasterCards?
It does. It does. Any revolving line of credit, store credit cards, Capital One cards, if you have a Town & Country Credit Union card, they all work the same. Okay. So they all add up to your available credit, every one of those cards. And even like if you have an overdraft line at a bank, that works the same way and will factor into that part of the score. So I always say too, if you don't want to close them, I've had some people put them in a safety deposit box just so that you really got to think about that purchase. I've also known some friends that have literally frozen them in a block of ice and thrown it in there, so you really got to think about it while you're thawing out your credit card.
They've literally put it in a block of ice?
They've literally put it in a block of ice because they really want to think about that purchase.
On the flip side, though, you said, I think last time you were here, that, hey, this doesn't mean go out and open up a bunch of new credit cards, because every time you do that, you get dinged, right?
Exactly. Yep, every inquiry is about 5 points, and every new line is about 5 or 10. So yeah, don't go out and go shopping and go to 5 different stores, and they all...
Why did you only look at me when you said that?
Well, you kind of brought it up, Lisa, so I just, I'm just using you as an example. So yeah, every time you open a card or have an inquiry, it's going to affect your score. So I would say whenever you do a loan, talk to your loan officer. We have lots of our branch managers, Town & Country, are certified financial counselors. So just make sure that you get educated on it and that you realize, you know, how that's going to affect your score.
Yeah, good idea to have that conversation, because you don't want to be surprised when you want to get that car loan or your mortgage.
Right, and it's things you don't do every day. So you definitely want to get educated and talk to your loan professional and your banker or credit union person, and go from there.
So y'all have people like I could call you and go, hey, look, I'm having some questions about what I'm going to do
Absolutely.
here.
I do that all the time. Yep, come on in, and if you want to sit down, we can do that too, or if you just got a couple questions on the phone, drop me an email. Absolutely. I get that all day.
That's awesome.
Good stuff. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
You coming back tomorrow?
Yeah, just these
stuff.
like real finance kind of questions that
Yeah.
I feel like we should all like be aware of. Good stuff. Thank you so much.
Yep, thanks for having me back.
Coming up on North Dakota Today, it's a call for unique art in the community.